What if I told you that the chart isn't your biggest challenge in trading? Your mind is. And what if, hidden in just one candle, lies a secret not only to your trading success, but to your emotional mastery? In this video, we're going to peel back the layers of trading psychology, not with complicated indicators or market noise, but through a deeper understanding of a single candle. Stay with me till the end, because if you truly absorb what I'm about to share, this one candle may forever change how you see the market and yourself. Most traders look at candles the same way they look at any other data, just part of a bigger pattern, a tool for making predictions. But that's not how disciplined traders see it. The truth is, a single candle on your chart is more than a shape. It's a mirror, a reflection of your internal state, your thinking patterns, and your ability to stay grounded in the present moment. When you fix your gaze on one candle, not 10, not a whole trend, but just one, something subtle starts to happen. At first, you may get restless. You may want to zoom out, check indicators, or find a signal to enter. That's your brain, conditioned for stimulation and speed, pulling you away from observation and into reaction. But the candle stays still. And in that stillness, it reveals something far more valuable than a signal. It reveals you. A green candle might spark hope. A red candle might trigger fear. A wick might fill you with regret for a missed opportunity. But pause and ask yourself, is a candle causing this emotion, or is it simply showing you what's already inside you? This is where the mental training begins. Watching one candle without acting is like meditation. It challenges your instinct to predict, to control, to win. It teaches you to witness, not just a market, but your impulses, your expectations, your attachment to outcomes. And as you observe more, you start noticing how your mind behaves when there's nothing to do. You start to hear the whispers of impatience. Should I enter now? What if I miss this move? Maybe I should double my lot size. These aren't market signals. These are mental habits, shaped by past experiences, losses, wins, even your upbringing. That candle becomes your psychological canvas. Its body, its wick, its close, each part holds meaning only because of what your mind assigns to it. Where one trader sees rejection, another sees entry. Where you see danger, someone else sees profit. The candle is neutral, your mind is not. This is why mastering one candle is so powerful. Because when you learn to see it without bias, without emotional distortion, you start retraining your mind to respond, not react. And in trading, this one shift separates impulsive losses from calculated gains. Let's go deeper. Let's say you're watching a bullish candle forming on a key support level. In that moment, your brain lights up, dopamine floods, and as hope arises. This is it, the breakout I've been waiting for. But what if you just watched? No action, no click, just awareness. What does the close look like? Is there real momentum? How did the previous candle behave? And more importantly, what is your mind telling you in this silence? This simple act of observation rewires your brain. You begin to detach from the rush of action and anchor into the discipline of awareness. You stop needing every candle to give you something. Instead, you learn to receive insight rather than chase outcomes. Over time, this practice conditions your nervous system to handle volatility, not just on a chart, but within yourself. You become less reactive to sudden spikes, less emotional about drawdowns, and more centered in your decision-making. You build emotional range, which is the core of trading discipline. Eventually, you realize something powerful. It was never about the candle. It was always about your relationship with uncertainty. And the candle? That was just a mirror showing you who you are when you face it. So next time you're tempted to skip ahead, chase setups, or overanalyze, come back to just one candle. Let it teach you. Let it test you. Let it reflect the trader you truly are and the one you're becoming. Most traders don't realize that their biggest losses aren't caused by market volatility or poor strategies. They're caused by impulse. The human brain is wired for instant reaction. It's designed for survival, not precision. And in the world of trading, that ancient wiring can become your greatest weakness. You see a sudden spike. Your heart races. Your fingers twitch. You feel the urge to enter, now, before it's too late. You're not analyzing anymore, you're reacting. And this is a trap. Impulse feels powerful. It's fast, emotional, and thrilling. It tricks you into thinking you're taking control. But in reality, it's a loss of control, disguised as confidence. And the worst part? It happens in milliseconds. By the time you realize it, the trade is already placed and your discipline is gone. This is a silent war every trader fights, the war between impulse and discipline. Impulse says, take it now, you might miss out. Discipline says, wait, confirm, then act. Impulse says, double your lot size to recover. Discipline says, stick to the plan, risk what you can afford. Impulse says, the last trade was a win. Go again. Discipline says, every trade is a new story. Don't carry your ego into the next one. But here's where it gets interesting. The market doesn't punish you for being wrong. It punishes you for being undisciplined. You can have the right setup, the right candle, the perfect conditions. But if your decision to enter is driven by emotion rather than structure, you're already behind. Because trading is not just technical, it's deeply psychological. And impulse is your mind's way of avoiding uncertainty. It wants quick resolution, immediate feedback, fast results. But the market doesn't care about your timeline. It rewards those who can delay gratification, stay calm in the unknown, and follow structure over feeling. Let's imagine this in real time. You're watching a key level. A candle is forming, bullish, strong, clean. You feel excitement building. You're tempted to jump in before the candle closes, to be early, to be smart. But pause. That moment, that very moment, is the test. It's not the candle testing the market. It's the market testing you. Do you act on instinct? Or do you wait and confirm? That decision, repeated 100 times, is what separates the impulsive trader from the disciplined one. And the difference in outcomes over time is massive. Impulse gives you wins, but also wild losses. Discipline gives you consistency, and consistency is a path to long-term success. And this is where the one candle strategy becomes so powerful. By focusing on just one candle, observing how it forms, how it reacts to structure, how your own emotions rise and fall as it moves, you start to reprogram your mind. You start recognizing the signals of impulse before they take over. You learn to breathe, to wait, to respond rather than react. It's no longer about trying to beat the market. It's about mastering yourself. Because once you master your inner noise, the chart becomes clear, your decisions become calm, and your results become repeatable. But make no mistake, this is not easy. Discipline feels slow. It feels boring. It feels like you're missing out while others are profiting. But that's the illusion. What you're actually doing is building a mindset that can survive and thrive in chaos. Impulse trading is like gambling with emotions. Disciplined trading is like investing in your own evolution. Every time you resist that urge to enter too early, every time you stick to your stop loss even when it hurts, every time you wait for confirmation rather than guessing, you're strengthening your mental edge. And over time, that edge compounds, not just in your trading account, but in your psychology. You become calmer, sharper, more objective, less reactive. You start to realize that trading is not about predicting candles. It's about managing yourself within them. The candle doesn't cause you to enter. The market doesn't force your hand. The strategy doesn't fail you. It's impulse, the invisible enemy inside your mind, that leads you away from discipline. And once you see it clearly, you can start making better choices. So the next time you sit down to trade, don't just look at the chart. Listen to your thoughts. Are you acting from clarity or craving? Are you entering from logic or fear of missing out? Are you following your system or following your emotions? Because that's where the real trade is happening, not just on your screen, but within your psychology. And the trader who wins is the one who knows the difference. In the world of trading, complexity is often mistaken for intelligence. The more indicators you have on your screen, the more data you track, the more advanced you seem. But here's the truth most traders learn only after years of loss. Complexity doesn't create clarity. It creates confusion. Simplicity when intentional, is far more powerful. When you focus on just one candle, one moment, one behavior, one decision, something subtle but profound begins to happen. The noise fades. The clutter dissolves. What's left is presence. And presence is where trading discipline begins. You're no longer chasing 5 indicators, scrolling between time frames, second-guessing yourself every 2 minutes. You're not searching for the perfect confluence or a magical entry signal. You're just watching one candle in real time and the market as it truly is. This is the power of focused simplicity. In this space, everything slows down. Your thoughts become clear. You begin to notice what actually matters, not the hype, not the forecast, not what someone on Twitter posted last night, but the raw, living behavior price. You become a student of movement, not just strategy. You begin to understand the psychology behind the candle. Why did buyers push up here? Why did sellers step in there? Why is this rejection stronger than the last? You start asking deeper questions, not about what's happening, but why it's happening. And in that process, you stop needing more tools, because you start developing one that's far more powerful, your intuition. But let's be clear, simplicity isn't about being lazy or doing less. It's about doing less better. It's about removing what's unnecessary so that what's essential can shine through. It's not about having no system. It's about having a clear system, one that is quiet, focused, and consistent. One candle is enough to show you market psychology, enough to reveal structure, enough to test your patience, enough to trigger your ego, enough to teach you what discipline actually feels like. The idea isn't to shrink your edge, it's to sharpen it. Think about it this way. If you can't stay focused on one candle, what makes you think you'll stay calm to a trade that lasts hours or even minutes? If you can't handle the silence of one setup, how will you survive the chaos of 5 open positions? Trading doesn't reward those who do more. It rewards those who do what matters consistently. Most traders overcomplicate because they don't trust themselves. They believe more tools will save them from uncertainty. But the truth is, no indicator can give you discipline. No volume bar can quiet your fear. No moving average will replace mental clarity. That only comes through simplicity, through learning to sit with a chart that has nothing on it but price and still see everything you need. It's in the simplicity of watching one candle that you train your brain to resist the need for constant action. You become an observer rather than a chaser. You see that discipline isn't about being a robot. It's about being human, but aware. Aware of your thoughts, your reactions, your biases, and strong enough to not let them control you. This level of clarity gives you an edge that can't be taught in a course or bought in a signal group. It can only be earned by mastering the art of doing less and doing it well. And the surprising thing, the market rewards this simplicity. It rewards those who can wait, those who can see that fewer trades mean higher quality, that missing a move is not failure, that being in control of your emotions is more valuable than catching a breakout. Simplicity keeps you grounded. It protects you from overtrading. It sharpens your focus. It aligns your mind with your method. And it allows you to connect with the market in a much more intimate, intelligent way. Not through prediction, but through understanding. Because ultimately, trading is not a race to do more. It's a practice of doing less with precision. Fewer trades, cleaner charts, clearer decisions. And all of it starts with one simple choice: to trust that one candle is enough. Enough to teach you, enough to challenge you, enough to transform not just your strategy, but your mindset forever. In trading, every click, every candle, and every decision is quietly testing one thing: your ability to wait. Delayed gratification isn't just a self-help concept. It's the very foundation of trading discipline. The market doesn't reward those who react fastest. It rewards those who can observe longer, decide slower, and act only when the moment is truly right. And yet, we're living in a world that has trained our brains for the opposite. You open your phone, and there are dopamine hits waiting: likes, notifications, alerts, instant replies. You place an order online, and it arrives the next day. You want entertainment? One tap. You want validation? Post something. Your brain is constantly being wired for now, not later. But the market is a different beast. It doesn't respond to urgency. It doesn't care about your expectations. It will move when it wants, and it will test your willingness to wait, not just for entries and exits, but for results, growth, and mastery. That's why one of the most powerful things a trader can train is the ability to delay gratification, to endure silence, resist temptation, and sit with uncertainty without forcing outcomes. And this is where the one-candle strategy becomes more than just a technical concept. It becomes a mental reprogramming tool. When you watch a single candle without acting, your mind starts to scream. It wants movement. It wants action. You feel the urge to jump in, to anticipate the next candle, to not miss out. But if you resist that urge, if you choose stillness over speed, something shifts inside you. You begin to build a muscle most traders never develop: restraint. And with that restraint comes clarity. You realize that most of your bad trades were not the result of a bad system. They were the result of wanting a result too soon. You didn't wait for confirmation. You didn't wait for the setup to mature. You didn't wait for your emotions to settle. You wanted to be in the trade, now, because waiting felt like losing. But here's the paradox. In trading, waiting is winning. Waiting for the right level. Waiting for the candle to close. Waiting for your edge to appear. Waiting through the boredom, the anxiety, the uncertainty, until your decision is clean, detached, and disciplined. This mental waiting space is where real growth happens. It's where you detach from needing every trade to be a win. It's where you stop chasing outcomes and start observing behavior, both the market's and your own, because the market is not just a mirror of price. It's a mirror of your psychology. And every time you act too soon over leverage, revenge trade, or break your plan, it's not the market that failed. It's your inability to delay gratification. But the good news is, this is trainable. The brain is plastic. It adapts. When you practice waiting, even just for one candle, you begin rewiring your neural pathways. You teach your system that not every impulse needs to be followed. You teach your nervous system that stillness is safe. You teach your emotional brain that control leads to confidence. With time, this changes everything. You stop needing every move to go in your favor. You become more process-oriented. You learn to trust your system rather than chase signals. And in doing so, you align yourself with the mindset of elite traders, the ones who can go hours without clicking, days without trading, and still remain grounded in purpose. They are not smarter. They are not luckier. They are just better at waiting. Delayed gratification is what allows them to stick to a plan. It's what allows them to exit early when needed, not because they're afraid, but because they understand the bigger picture. It's what helps them compound, not just money, but self-control, emotional intelligence, and long-term vision. The one-candle strategy is your training ground for this. You watch it form. You feel the urge rise. You notice your thoughts racing, your finger hovering over the button. And then you wait. You breathe. You observe. You let the candle close. Maybe it confirms your setup. Maybe it doesn't. But either way, you've already won. Because in that moment, you weren't a slave to your impulse. You chose discipline. And that single choice, repeated consistently, rewires your entire trading identity. You begin to see the market not as a battlefield, but as a mirror, not as a race, but as a reflection, not as a place to make money quickly, but a space to become someone who can handle money wisely. And that's the real secret. The market doesn't just give you profits. It gives you a chance to evolve, if you're patient enough to let it. So now you've seen it. One candle, something so small, so often overlooked, holds the power to transform not just how you trade, but how you think, how you wait, how you react. Because trading isn't about predicting where the next candle will go. It's about understanding where your mind goes when you see it. That single candle becomes your mirror. It reflects your fears, your habits, your impulses. It shows you the war between reaction and reflection, between control and chaos. And in that moment, when you choose to pause, observe, and wait, you step out of emotion and into mastery. Discipline isn't found in strategies. It's not coded in indicators. It's built in the silence between candles, in the patience to observe, in the courage to delay gratification, in the simplicity of focus awareness. The mystery of trading discipline was never a secret hiding in complexity. It was always right there in front of you, in one candle, one moment, one decision at a time. And the real question isn't what the candle will do next. It's what you will do with the space between now and the next move, because that's where traders are made. Not in action, but in stillness. Not in control of the market, but in control of themselves. So, the next time you open your chart, don't look for signals. Look for self-awareness, because that is the real strategy.